So what's the bigger vision here beyond revenue and growth?
I look in the mirror still, no matter how good I look or people tell me I look great, I still see the fat kid.
Yeah.
Always. That's actually probably my biggest fear, is ruining things and failing, and then ruining Sherry's life too.
But once you started doing it and you started to fall in love with it, what did fitness give you that nothing in life was giving you? Welcome back, guys, and welcome to Life by the Horns, where we are all bull and no bullshit. Today I have with me Justin Tway from 1858 Athletic Club. And where most people build businesses to make money, Justin and Sherry are building a sanctuary that goes beyond that. I love the laugh. 1858 began as a CrossFit gym in 2008. Justin joined the team in 2012. And by 2014, he became the owner. In 2018, Sherry joined the team, and then everything began to shift. Her presence didn't just strengthen the business, it reshaped the culture, the energy, and the vision of what 1858 could become. Fitness has changed them both physically, mentally, and emotionally. And what they're building now reflects that, a space that honors discipline, individuality, and belonging. In 2024, they rebranded and cut ties with their CrossFit roots. And in 2025, they've now transformed 1858 into something new and unique. A hybrid gym with a functional training side on one half and bodybuilding on the other. And not to make everyone do both, but to create a home for two very different types of athletes who share the same drive. What they're building now goes deeper than training. It's curated, it's intentional, it's speakeasy-like. A place where elite equipment, high standards, and deep culture come first. And now they're at the ground stages of planning something even bigger, a destination gym of sorts, which we'll untap later. This isn't just a story about a gym. This is a story about two people becoming who they were meant to be. Building a place where others can do the same. Today is part one, Justin's story. Soon, in part two, we'll sit down with Sherry and hear her journey and how she helped shape the vision as well. Justin, how are you?
Doing great.
Good, man.
Good synopsis.
Yeah, it wasn't bad,
No,
at least with what I gathered. So,
Yeah.
So before 1858, before bodybuilding, before you entered the doors at CrossFit Alpharetta in 2012, before you owned the business, who were you?
Who was I? So, I mean, working out to me, it's someone, so I'm going to be 48 in February. So I grew up at a time when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, like that was the guys you looked at on TV and you wanted to look like that. Right. So I've always been interested in fitness and being jacked and, looking that way. So funny enough, though, I was always too afraid to work out. So like I never worked out in high school. I was too afraid that people would think I was weak, which you would be. Yeah. You get strong. Doesn't make any sense at all. And I started working out it was a Gold's Gym at the time. It's still around. They just actually had their 35th anniversary. So I follow them on Instagram. And it's the same. It's crazy. It's the same equipment, but that equipment now is like super valuable because you can't find this old stuff. But I started there when I was like 19. I started working at the gym. So it's always been kind of like in my DNA to some degree, like to train. So I did that off and on. I worked there. I worked at a world gym. I worked at gyms back and forth. And I kind of went into like the real world. Fast forward many moves. Found myself in Oregon, super depressed, probably weighed, if I remember right, 250, 260 pounds.
Okay.
I was strong, but I was a fat guy. I couldn't even walk up the stairs barely. Yeah. And I had a really good friend who was a surgeon. He was opening up a hormone replacement clinic. But this was before, like, it's not like how it is now, where like it's very acceptable. It was kind of new. And so I'm like, dude, I'm having all these problems. And I actually met him on like a bodybuilding forum. We just happened to live in the same town. And he's like, well, if I wasn't a bodybuilder and I didn't do jujitsu, I would do this CrossFit thing. And I'm like, what's that? I've never even heard of it. And then I Googled it, and there were two in the town. It was in Eugene, Oregon. And they were both in someone's garage. It was really weird. You drive up to a house, they had their garage door open. The one guy had like 5 locks on his door because he didn't want anyone to go into his house. And he had like his family inside. Yeah. And I would only show up on the days that we're lifting. I never showed up if there was anything else. And then eventually I kind of started to adapt into that forced cardio. It's the only, because I would never do cardio. I was like everybody else. I'll do some cardio after I train, and we don't do it. Right. Never. Especially bigger guys. Just don't do it. And from there, I kind of fell in love with it. And, it forced you to do things that you weren't comfortable with, but it still gave me an outlet to be strong. because there was, deadlift. I could deadlift 500 pounds for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Don't know if I still can. Who knows? But probably. But so I was always good at the strength stuff, back squat, whatever. And then there was a challenge of learning new Olympic lifts, that kind of thing. So fast forward a little bit, I move out of Oregon, come to Colorado, and I end up getting laid off from a job working for a software security company. And I was just like, I don't want to work in an office anymore. So what can I do? I really like this CrossFit thing. I was lucky enough to be able to move back in with my parents in my probably mid-30s. And I just started coaching. I had a friend that actually, his name's Josh. He gave me the $1,000 to get my CrossFit certification because I didn't have the money to do it. Okay. Very, very fortunate that happened. It kind of set my life in a totally different path. So started coaching CrossFit in 2000 and that would have been 2008? No, 2010? 2010, I think. And from there, it's just kind of moved to Connecticut, coached there, moved here, coached here in Alpharetta. And then lucky enough, the owner of the gym was just a really, really wealthy guy and didn't care about it. And he was ready to just shut it down because he didn't care. And I was like, well, let me take it off your hands. And so lucky enough to be able to find a way to make it happen without any capital.
Yeah.
Just made it work. And it's just been ever since then, it's just been kind of a grind.
Okay.
Long story.
No, good story though. So what were you chasing back then though? So during that time frame, was it identity, belonging? Was it just what you loved? Did you want your passion to fuel?
Yeah, I've always been passionate about lifting and not so much the cardio side. So the nice thing about CrossFit is you are rewarded for being strong.
Yeah.
Like if you can do, I was always towards the top of the strength curve in any gym I would go to, always. And I would be towards the bottom end, middle. So growing up, I was always like third best athlete on the team.
Yeah.
I was never the best guy, but I was by far not the worst guy, right? If we were playing dodgeball, I'd get picked second, let's say.
Yeah.
Best guy and then me. So I don't know, it gave me this kind of athletic outlet. It gave me a sense of community because that's kind of the whole thing behind the CrossFit is you meet people.
Yeah.
I used to always tell people that when we would try to like sell them to join the gym, like as you get older, your circle closes. But if you do something like CrossFit, your circle gets bigger because you meet people.
Yeah.
Which is totally accurate. I think that's what pulls most people into that type of fitness. But it's very, very specific types of people do that type of fitness too. It's a very specific type, and that lasts. Everybody can try it, but people that last. So yeah, I don't know if I answered the question.
Well, so you didn't love working out earlier on because you were afraid, weak and whatnot.
Yeah.
But once you started doing it and you started to fall in love with it, what did fitness give you that nothing in life was giving you?
It's a good, I think just not hating what I would see in the mirror. I think, although I don't know that that's cured. I don't know that I look in the mirror still, no matter how good I look or people tell me I look great, I still see the fat kid.
Yeah.
Always. It's just always there. So I think that's what I was, that. And then, honestly, like girls wanting women to like me, like the fitter you are, the more likely they'll, and it worked. My wife's super hot. So, that's the truth. That's really what I was looking for. Not really even a career. And that's kind of what it turned into.
Yeah. I love that. I think what it gives a lot of us though too is armor as men, especially when you grow up as the fat kid or the super skinny kid or whatever it may be. When you start lifting and putting on, muscle over time, it starts to make you at least extrinsically feel, like that guy, but it starts to build some armor, which a lot of us think we need.
Absolutely. Like we went to the Braves Cubs game last night. We're walking around and I'm like, nobody looks like us. Nobody. Like you automatically, Sherry's like, everybody's staring at me. I'm like, because there's not another woman in this entire stadium that looks like you. Like we stand out. Yeah. You don't notice it as much because we're around other fit people all day long.
Yeah.
You just feel like when everybody else, when you leave and you go into the real world, like you're different in a good way, I think.
Yeah. So you traveled around a bunch. You were a trainer for a period of time. You did software for a while. When you made your way into CrossFit Alpharetta, and then 2 years later, the gentleman was willing to step away. What was it about that opportunity that you were so excited about? Having something that was just your own, or what was it?
Honestly, I think it was already mine anyway, because the guy wasn't present. He was totally MI. In fact, when he would come in, he was a really weird dude, and people didn't like him. So when he would come in, they'd be like, I would get messages from people like, I want to quit the gym if this guy's going to be around. And I'm like, dude, it's my gym. Like, it's me. He just owns it. I run the whole thing. So I had already been kind of running everything anyway. For me, I don't do well with bosses.
Okay.
I just never have. I don't know what the deal is. Teachers, managers, I just have always felt like I'm smarter than the person in front of me, and I don't want to hear what they have to say. And so I think I was born to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Hopefully a successful business owner someday.
That's a normal thing for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I think that's what I was meant to do. I just always kind of want my own way with everything I've ever done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know what the drive was. It just was an opportunity that presented itself. And I'm like, I'm already doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I think we can make it grow, and I'm passionate about this. So it doesn't feel like work, even though it is, and it does, but it doesn't feel that way when you're doing it. Like another day of 8 or 10 hours of doing this, or being at home watching YouTube, learning about lifting, learning about how to, facilitate a class better, those kind of things.
Yeah. So some might think you were handed a golden ticket.
Absolutely. I would say absolutely.
But with that, I would, if I were a betting man, say that there were probably early on, and even still now, real cost when it came to ownership, whether it be financially, emotionally, or personally. What were some of those?
So I was very lucky in terms of the financial, like I got lucky.
Yeah.
I think that anyone that has some degree of success in the world, like it's who you know, or being in the right place at the right time. And I've just been lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time a couple of times, and things kind of went for it. But emotionally, like people that have never run a gym, whenever you talk to Sherry, you'll hear her say like, oh, it seems so easy. Like you build relationships with people, and when those people leave your gym, you take it personally, even though you shouldn't. It feels like they're leaving you, even though life circumstances change and people move, or, hey, I did this CrossFit thing for a year or two. I want to try something different, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels more like you're not good enough. Yeah. It's like someone's breaking up with you. So the big toll for me has always been the emotional side. Like, I didn't have a big financial stake in it to start. Got very lucky in that way. But the gym's never been crazy successful either, to where we're just like, oh, we're killing it. Who cares? There's been ups and downs. But it's always just kind of like existed, and been able to, make our life what it is, which isn't a bad life by any means, but it's not like we have a mansion, we have one car. It's a nice car, but we have one car.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the toll on me has always been more of an emotional.
Okay. Did you ever think at any point in this process that you couldn't do this?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think. I didn't want to. Sometimes there's days you wake up and I don't want to do this, but I don't know, man. Like the more that I learn, the more I interact with people. A lot of the people that are members of our gym are very high achieving people, like business owners, management level and above. And like, I can interact with them no problem. I honestly believe that if I was given training in pretty much anything, I think I could probably succeed at that if I wanted to. Yeah. So yeah, it's never been I've never been worried. I think everybody has imposter syndrome to some degree, but fake it till you make it, man. And we're all doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay. So 2018, Sherry enters the picture. Mm-hmm. And this stopped being just your dream. At some point, you guys got married in 2019?
Correct.
Okay. How did her arrival shift the energy in you and the gym?
So in me, the reports I got back was, why is Justin less grumpy? All the time. And I'm like, I feel grumpy still. So I must have been really grumpy back then.
Yeah.
For her, it was just having kind of like more of a stabilizing force and more of a partner. Versus, before her, I had another fiance that was involved in the business, but it was more like doesn't want to sound creepy, but more like a father-daughter relationship, where I felt like I was always having to like guide this person, an employee versus like a partner. Whereas Sherry brings a lot of talent with her personality. The way she looks is a huge selling point, and the way she interacts with women especially. Yeah. So she really brought that like kind of stabilizing force, and then somebody I can lean on when I need help with stuff, or, just a sounding board, somebody that's on my team. Yeah. So I've been in relationships before her where if I was like, I don't like this person, and the other person would say, well, no, they're okay. Sherry hates them too. It's great. We both, like, if we don't like someone, if they do something, like they're out, you know? So she's always been really great that way.
Okay. What about what she's added to the culture?
I mean, culturally, she brings the leadership in terms of fitness. Like, she's a very fit. So she walks the walk. I feel like any business that you own, you should walk the walk. I think a fitness business is especially that way. Like, you should look like you work out. You should work out. You should eat well to some degree. You know, like even with our hormone replacement clinics, stuff like that, like I take everything to make sure that, you know, if somebody asks me, well, what does this do? How do you feel on that? I can tell them, well, when I took it, I had this result. I felt this way. This one, don't waste your money on it. It doesn't really do anything. So she is like the picture of what you want to achieve.
Okay. And how has building this together shaped your values and leadership?
I don't know. It's a good question.
It's made you less grumpy.
Yeah. I don't know that it's really changed much other than just evolving over time. Like, I am who I am. I haven't changed in a measurable way, but I'm different, right? Like, as you learn, you realize like, okay, one member leaving isn't the end of the world because we're going to get someone else, or two come in, one leave, whatever. It's allowed me to not, and I don't do a good enough job of it, but not to wear every hat all the time, because I have somebody else that I can, you know, share tasks with. I really struggle with that because especially early on, I had to do everything. Yeah. And I still feel like that, even though, and it's a problem to this day. So I would hopefully, as we scale this thing, I can let go a little bit more and she can let go a little bit more. And I'm hoping that we'll get actual employees at some point that we can trust.
Yeah. Okay. No, I love it. So, and I think in large part, a lot of business owners have worked with their significant other in some capacity. And for some, it works really well. And some, it'll damn near drive them to divorce.
Absolutely.
What about you guys specifically has really it's been a blessing?
It's the weirdest thing because we grew up completely different. I grew up in Colorado in a really small town as a Catholic. She grew up in San Antonio, Texas as a Mormon. We are so different, but we're the same person. It doesn't make any sense. I'm the oldest. She's the youngest. But it's just really weird. We are exactly the same almost. So we work really well. I mean, we spend legitimately 99% of our day, every single day together. Like, even going to the grocery store, running on errands, like we don't want to be apart. So I think we're unique in that sense because I hear guys all the time like, oh man, I need time away from my wife. I need time away. I need a guy's trip. I never feel that way. Yeah. I feel like she's my best friend. She's also my business partner, so yeah, we're able to work together really, really well. She puts up with me, which is really challenging because I'm not easy to deal with, especially I'm very end of the world scenario. Every time something happens, I'm thinking about like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
So it's nuclear.
Yeah. Okay, this is the worst thing. And then let's backpedal from there. Which is I'm sure not easy for her to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's nice to have a stabilizing force when you have that type of personality. Yeah. So then 2024 hard reset, you guys have decided to kind of stop your ties or cut your ties with CrossFit, which in large part is what made the gym what it was. What made you guys make that decision?
So that was interesting. It's again, right place, right time, right? Like, so I was doing a class in November of 2023 and we were doing reverse lunges. And I was like showing off how strong I am, like a dipshit, like doing reverse lunges. They had like 225 on the bar, something like that. I injured my left knee. I didn't even know I hurt it and nothing was wrong. Then the next morning it was huge and I couldn't squat at all. I couldn't do anything. And, being an entrepreneur, we have no life or no health insurance. So I guess we'll see how it goes. It just didn't get better. And so I ended up having to go and find another gym to train at so I can do something like with my legs because I couldn't do anything I couldn't do anything dynamic, which is CrossFit's all dynamic stuff. So I can't do anything and I can't not work out, right? It's a big part of who we are. And so we kind of started going to a more traditional style gym. It was going well. We started meeting people. Sherry kept getting asked if she competed in bodybuilding because she looks crazy in a good way. And she started exploring that. We started meeting more people. As we traveled, we would, instead of doing CrossFit, when we would go to Las Vegas, we would go to more bodybuilding centric gyms. We started trying out different equipment. We're like, this stuff is different than the stuff we have at home. Like, not realizing the stuff we had at home was actually trash.
Right.
Just like, oh, well, I guess that's what it is.
Yep.
And so realizing that there was this market that was untapped. And we started kind of thinking about, all right, we owned the building at the time. We built the building in 2020, and I didn't want to continue to own the building because we were one AC unit away from going bankrupt. That thing breaks, we're screwed. Yeah. So we sold the building, and we had two choices. Okay, either just close the gym, go do something else, take that money and figure out something else, or we can pivot and kind of build what I call our dream gym. And that's the way we decided to go.
Yeah. Okay. What was it hard at all shedding that CrossFit identity? Did it have any impact on the people that were there or you guys?
So it's not gone. It's still there. Okay. The goal is to have a place where the classes are a little more intimate versus just how many people can we fit in this class? Like, can we have 30 people in a class where the coach doesn't really even get to know anybody or get to look at people? Now we've kept our classes at 12, and ideally 10 is perfect for the space. So 10 people, so it's a little more intimate, but there's enough energy.
Right. So
that's still there. I don't anticipate that ever going away. Like when I think of, version 2 of what we're doing, there should be a space for that, because that's one, changed my life. CrossFit changed my life. Yeah. Like, I met Sherry, I got a business, all these things. So that will always be a part of the DNA of the gym to some degree. I think, you never know, things change over time.
Yeah.
So that hasn't gone away. Now it's a culture shift, because now we have a gym that has this imaginary line in it, right? Where one side people come in and they're pretty self-sufficient and they know what they're doing, and their nutrition's on point. Whereas CrossFit tends to bring people in that are searching for fitness, right, and they don't have as much knowledge. They need help with nutrition. They need help with, motivation, all these things. So it's a really interesting dynamic between the two.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, if you knew how to do it right, if you did kind of the CrossFit thing a couple days a week, moderate intensity, that would take care of your cardio, and they do the other things for aesthetics. Like, that's what Sherry does.
Yeah.
And it works perfectly for her. My knee's still not in a position where I feel comfortable doing class anymore. So I haven't done class in a couple of years, but I'm still, in the best shape of my life in terms of the mirror.
Yeah.
I probably was in better shape when I was doing that on the inside, although my blood work looks great. So I don't know, but it's a very interesting culture. Like, at first we lost a lot of members in the beginning, because once you aren't, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, once you aren't treating everybody like they're the best thing in the world, they think you've just forgotten about them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, you're building all this new thing, you're buying new equipment over here. What about us? I'm like, nothing has changed over here. Like, all we did was take the space and make it half as big.
Right.
And now you just don't have 20 feet between you and the next person. You're closer. It's actually better.
Yeah.
But some people don't want that. They want to feel like they're the only thing that matters. And, we want a dirty CrossFit gym that is cool when you throw up when, you finish class, that kind of thing. And that's just not who we are. So, I think we're in a really good spot. The people that have stuck with us, I think they understand, kind of what the goal is. It's not to get rid of that. It's to just make that, it's not the only thing we offer. It's one of the two things we offer.
Yeah.
Right. I still spend a lot of time on programming. I coach, a majority of the classes in the morning. Like, it's still a huge part of our culture.
Yeah. Do you think it's common for a lot of entrepreneurs to kind of burn, maybe the wrong word, but to burn or evolve away from the one vision that got them to where they are into something that they're truly
so
passionate about?
I think that's what should happen.
Yeah.
I think that if you're just comfortable sitting with the one thing that you've had for a decade, it's never going to turn into anything. It's just probably going to eventually die.
Yeah.
All of the gym owners that I've known for more than 10 to 15 years since when I first bought into the gym, they've all evolved to something else. Some people still do the gym thing, but they do a different version of it. Some people are, flipping houses now, who knows, but they all evolve into something else. Or, like us, like we'd started a hormone replacement clinic as well. We have two different ways we can help you. So now technically we have 3 businesses, right? We have a functional fitness class business, bodybuilding style gym business, and then our our TRT clinic. And then that's, for me, I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly looking for new things. It's not like I'm looking to get rid of stuff. It's like I'm trying to make everything better.
Yeah. Is there anything that bodybuilding has taught you in these last couple of years that CrossFit didn't teach you? Because to me, they're obviously very different as far as sport.
To me, there isn't a huge difference other than when you go to CrossFit, you go to a class.
Mm-hmm.
So you show up, you do what they tell you to do, and you leave. Bodybuilding is a little more of a individual pursuit, right, although Sherry and I do it together. So you have to show up on your own. You have to get through the workout on your own. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. So they're very different, but to me, they don't feel that different. I mean, it's just a different vibe. They're just two different things, but your goal is at the end is probably the same thing. Yeah. Most people, when they start either one of these, it's more to look different. It's not to be healthier or to be stronger. Almost, if people were honest with themselves, they come into these gyms to look a certain way because they're not happy with the way they look. And then like I start feeling better. I feel better now. But a lot of that's just because your looks have changed possibly.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned on the CrossFit side, especially as you get older, less friends, smaller circle, it does build a lot more camaraderie. I mean, you're rooting for each other at the end of the day. But I
sort of.
Well, unless you're competing against each other, yes. But on the bodybuilding side, it's very much it's a one-person sport.
Yeah.
It's you.
But even within there, like what I like about kind of what we're building is when we're in there, people are talking to each other. Yeah. And it's not like an annoying talk to me for 20 minutes kind of thing, but people are interested in getting to know you. Like they're still treating it as a place, like as a community. It's just different. It's just headphones might be in for most of the time. You might say what's up to somebody. You're not interacting to the same degree. CrossFit's very interactive. Like you learn everything about these people for better or for worse. Whereas on the bodybuilding side, you learn a little bit less. But if you take the time, I mean, everyone's a creature of habit. Mm-hmm. Everyone goes to the same time, whether it's a class or they go train at the same time. So you're going to probably see the same faces. And over time, if you're open to it, you're going to meet people and learn about them as well. Yeah. So to be honest, they're not that different other than one's a class and one's kind of doing on your own.
Yeah. Well, I think at least for me, on the bodybuilding side, when you train by yourself, there's not that extra nudge that you get when you're with a partner. Correct. Or you're having a shit day. You see everybody else is pushing through. So
I think that's part of one of the big things that people like about kind of that CrossFit style training is you would not work that hard by yourself.
No.
We have a fully decked out garage gym. We've done a workout in there 5 times because it's not the same. It's terrible. Yep. Oh, 3 rounds is enough instead of 10. Like you don't work as hard when you see. So that's kind of the draw there. That's why people tend to like that, especially type A personalities, because it's like, well, that guy's not stopping. That guy's going faster. So I'm going to do that too. It's not the same on the bodybuilding side.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing in some ways. One of the issues with CrossFit is I see you deadlifting 400. Well, I need to deadlift 400. Yeah. What if I'm not capable of that? But if it's on the bodybuilding side, I don't care what you're deadlifting. Who cares? Congratulations, you're strong. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
My goal is to get bigger muscles, and I can do that. Not necessarily going heavy and getting hurt, right? Yeah. So a lot of similarities, a lot of differences.
Yeah. Well, so when I first met you guys not too long ago, I was very taken aback when I first got there. A, the door was locked. B, you obviously had to let me in. And then in conversation with you guys, you kind of mentioned this curated speakeasy style gym, and that really stuck with me. Why create something exclusive and curated instead of just open access like everybody else?
So one of the things that we really disliked about the gym we were going to before was that they were trying to be something for everybody.
Right.
And when you do that, there isn't any culture, right? You got a granny sitting on the spin bike complaining because the music's too loud. You got a kid, that hasn't done a single set. He's been in there for 2 hours, just walking around talking on his phone or just hanging out. That's not the type of people we want to be around. So by closing the doors a little bit and making it a little bit more of a barrier for entry, we can, find those people that are looking for what we value, which is like actually training, actually working hard, understanding that like not every piece of equipment is the same. Like there's a reason why this thing costs $10,000 and it's not just, bolt together from China type of thing. Like these things are very important, and we want people that understand that as well and want a place that when they walk in the door, they feel like, okay, this is almost like my personal gym to some degree. Like it's not full and packed of people. You may have to wait for, it happens. You have to wait for equipment sometimes. But you're not going to see someone sitting on a machine for 30 minutes at our gym. You just won't see it. Yeah. And if they do, you let me know and we'll make sure we'll take care of that. But I want something for me, I built what I would want to train in with the idea that like, there's gotta be other people like us that want to train in something similar. And there is.
So is it fair to say that at least from a business strategy perspective, it has been passion first and then the profit will follow?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, we took a pretty big risk with this. Yeah. And it's been really scary. And I have a big problem when it comes to wanting to be the best. And I know what the best is.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, that piece of equipment isn't the best. I want the best one. And that has a big price tag comes along with it. And stress of finding that machine and getting it, a lot of these things take a year just to get built. So if you buy it brand new, you're going to be waiting a year. So you have to kind of pre-plan. And I didn't know that was a thing. Like it was piecemealing these things together, buying machines that ended up being not ideal and then having to figure out a way to get rid of those machines. Huge risk. Yeah.
And most gyms don't go that route though. Most go with one or two different lines of equipment. It's all the same shit at every location that you go to. But for you guys, it was way more important to go the more like the elitist route. And clearly it costs more money and takes more time. Why was that so important to you guys?
For me, I think it goes back to us. I want to train in a certain environment. I want to use the specific type of machines. You should try to go to a gym that is owner operated, the owners train in the facility, that they care about the facility. Otherwise, the machines are just machines. Yeah. Members are just members. It just goes the same thing for CrossFit. If they look like shit and they don't train, you need to go somewhere else because they're not spending the time on themselves. So what's important to them? So for us, I want the best machines because I want to train on the best machines. There is a huge difference between different types of lat pull downs and the way that the cables feel and the way they function. Like there's a big difference. Yeah. Attachments, having the right attachments that are unique, like versus just what you see in most places. So to me, I've always been that way. Like when I get into something, I like go all in on it. Like I was into Pops for a while, those stupid little dolls. And it was like, they're like little pop figurine. They look like bobbleheads kind of.
Okay. So
you can buy those anywhere. They have them at Walmart or at Hot Topic, all these places, but they have special ones that you can only get at like Comic-Cons. And those things are worth like $2,000. So I'm like trying to find the special nice ones, not the crap ones. I started mountain biking at one point and had to, couldn't buy $1,000 mountain bike. Had to have the $5,000 mountain bike because it'll make you go faster or whatever. And I think that comes from Sherry and I are very similar here. Like in a childhood of not having things, like I didn't get Air Jordans. I didn't have, the cool clothes, that kind of stuff. So it's like we want those valuable things because we never had them.
Yeah. So even with the apparel that you guys just brought in recently, obviously the elite equipment, everything that you're trying to curate and bring together really just symbolizes the highest quality.
Yeah. I mean,
you want great people,
absolutely.
Great equipment, great everything.
Mm-hmm. The shirts, I mean, the company that I found to make the shirts, they make each shirt. It's not like they're blanks that you just pull off of a pile and, throw a logo on it. Like they're made in Bangladesh. They get the fabric, they sew them together, they do everything. So these shirts, like, they're a little more expensive, but they're more expensive for a reason. And they're high quality. And we want that to be reflected in everything that we do.
Yeah. So is that the goal though, whether it's putting on an 1858 shirt, sitting inside of the gym using the equipment, the goal is to feel highest of quality?
Ideally, yeah.
Okay, cool. So with what you guys have got going on right now, we've already had conversation outside of this about, version 2.0 of what this looks like. And you're not trying to make just another gym that's bigger. You're really trying to make this more of a destination. Why is that so important to you guys?
I don't know if it comes from the way I grew up, but I want to be the best. I want us to be the best. And I know that we are pretty damn good, but I know we're not the best. And I have that desire. I don't know what it is that's in me, but I want to have the best things. I want to have the best equipment. I want to have the best space. I want to have the best location. I want to have, the best members. Like, I just want us to be the best. So I kind of see it's in my head. I can see it. of what it would be.
And it's not like,
well, it's bigger, right? Right now we're in about 6,000 square feet. So let's say if we could even double that, or probably triple, because I still want to have a decent sized space for the functional fitness classes. But if we could double or triple the space, now you can double-ish the amount of equipment, have a little bit more space around stuff. We're packed in pretty tight where we are now. Space is one of the biggest issues that we have. But it would just be, for me, I want to train in the best place.
mm-hmm.
When I look at our gym, I don't see it as the best in its current form.
Your reviews say otherwise.
Correct. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of nothing's ever been good enough.
Right.
And I don't know if it ever will be. And hopefully clients see that that's kind of the way I look at things, and I'm always looking to improve, finding a way to buy new equipment, finding a way to change the lighting, or, make the music better. There's so many things that go into that. So version 2 to me would be more of a destination, you got to come check this place out.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get in, so good luck. But, it's, instead of having a private gym for, 150 people, we would still make it private, but we would be able to allow, maybe 400 or 500 people through the door. Where it's still not busy. It's still not annoying. I mean, those are the key things, is just a bigger version of what we have now with, 2 or 3 leg extensions, 2 or 3 really good, leg curls, or, 2 different versions of things. So that way there isn't somebody sitting and waiting, or, doubles of dumbbells, things like that.
Yeah.
So just a bigger version of what we have now.
So what's the bigger vision here beyond revenue and growth?
I honestly haven't thought of it. I mean, it's going to be hopefully something where I'd like to say we don't have to work as hard, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think with my personality, the way it is, I think we will always be looking, what's the next best, what's next. I don't ever see us slowing down, because it hasn't happened in 15 years. I'm always like, let me add this, let me add that. Let's switch this out. Let's switch that out. Whether it was CrossFit or not, I was always trying to make it better. That's one of the things that really bugged me about the CrossFit space, is when you're called a CrossFit gym, you're lumped in with everybody else. Everybody's the same, even though we're not, right? Our gym is very clean. We use air conditioning. We think about the program when it comes to people. Most of our people are above 40. Does it make sense to be walking on your hands and doing rope climbs? And, you fall down and now you can't play with your kids for 6 months. That doesn't make any sense. And so I've always tried to take that stuff into account when it comes to CrossFit. Now that we're doing the bodybuilding thing, it's the same kind of thing. What kind of impact will these machines make? Well, they don't have them anywhere. A lot of the stuff we have, legitimately, you can't find anywhere else other than 1 or 2 gyms, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's not common, a lot of the stuff we have.
Yeah. So there's a bright side, or a light at the end of the tunnel, right? But also with that, it's fleeting and far away. So are there any fears, even still to this day, that keep you up at night?
Always fear of going out of business.
Yeah.
Everybody, for the most part, probably has a finite amount of capital behind them. And if you blow through that, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'll give you a great example. Yesterday we lost 4 members, and it's like, wow, no, what are we going to do?
Yep.
But you don't think about, we gained 4 members over the weekend too. Yeah. But it always feels like we're swimming upstream. It always feels like we're chasing more members. And even when we had our best month ever, which would have been 2 or 3 years ago, it just never felt good enough. But if I had that revenue today, I'd be like, man, we're killing it. But it didn't feel like that in the moment, right? Because you're just kind of like, you're captive of what's happening right now. Right. And then super afraid to fail. I mean, I think being afraid of failure is what keeps us going. Otherwise, why would I wake up in the morning and do anything? Who cares? Whatever. Who cares? I don't want to fail. And so that's why I'm constantly on Facebook Marketplace, are there any, adductor machines out there? Because I'm looking for the perfect one. I don't want to just add one. Yeah. We need a better seated leg curl. Where's that? I need to find the right one, make sure it's the right price, figure out how to get it in the gym. How do I get it upstairs? Because that's not a party. No, I'm not doing it. So yeah, there's tons of fear of failure. And then I think, one thing that really I struggle with is putting everything on my shoulders. So I feel like if we fail, I failed our marriage and our relationship, and I made our life terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm that's actually probably my biggest fear, is ruining things and failing and then ruining Sherry's life too. So I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Protect and provide.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Let's hope. I mean, even though that's not really the world we live in necessarily, right? Yeah. Sherry's perfectly capable. I still feel like it's my responsibility.
Yeah, I totally get that. So if or when you guys pull it off with version 2, what'll make you say it was all worth it?
I mean, it's worth it now. I don't think that there is a specific thing that would say this has been worth it. I think as long as I get to do something that I like, which is fitness, whether it's functional fitness classes, whether it's, just more of a bodybuilding centric gym, who knows what could pop up in the next 5 or 10 years? Who knows, right? Everything evolves. I don't think there's one thing I can point to be like, this made it worth it. As long as Sherry and I get to live a life that we like, which is being surrounded by great people every day, getting to work out every day, being the healthiest versions of ourselves, so that we can have like a quality life. I mean, the reality is we're approaching our second half of our life. We're both getting close to 50. And, compared to most of my contemporaries, I'm doing really good.
I was going to say, at least you take care of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we're crushing it in that respect. Yeah. So if we can keep that going, I mean, that's what makes it worth it, is we're creating the business is allowing us to live a life where we can do the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
Go to Las Vegas all the time.
And this is hugely both of your passions, but it's also business and work. Is there ever tension between those two where it feels just like work and you're like, fuck it, I don't want to work out today?
A couple times a week at least.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that is most endearing and annoying about Sherry is she's like, what, are we training today? And I'm like, I don't know. I got to answer 70 emails and I got to, she has responsibilities too, but for her, like, training isn't optional. It's a non-negotiable for her versus me. Man, I'm a little sore today. Let's take an extra rest day.
Yeah.
She's going to get a workout in no matter what, because she'll do class, which I don't do class anymore. I would say at least 2 to 3 days a week is a fuck it day. I am like, man, I'm so exhausted. I'm mentally capped. Like, but if I just force myself to go in and start training, like, it's after set 1 or 2, I'm into it and it's fine. It's like anybody else. You got to just force yourself to start.
Yeah.
And once you start, everything ends up kind of working out. Same thing in business. Like, just do it. Just like go and, sell your building and buy $400,000 worth of bodybuilding equipment. See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big leap and a prayer.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I knew the concept was strong.
Yeah.
Because as I was going to other places, I'm looking at these places. I started watching a lot of YouTube. I do watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm watching these other gyms, other places. And I'm like, if this 22-year-old idiot can pull this off, like, this kid has no idea about anything, but he's created this gym, and they started in smaller spaces and they've all grown. I mean, some people come, to have a bunch of money behind them, or their parents have whatever. But a lot of these were kind of like from the ground up. And there's nothing like that in Alpharetta at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I want to move into a fun section. We just started this bit probably a couple of podcasts ago, but we call it rapid fire.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions.
Let's see.
First thing that comes to mind.
All right.
So what's one word that describes the culture you and Sherry are building at 1858?
I actually don't like the word elite, but I would say that's what it would be. Like, we want to be the elite bodybuilding gym in North Atlanta.
Okay. So you guys want to be the North Star.
That word elite it's been super douchey in CrossFit. So elite, forging elite fitness. Like, what does that even mean? I mean, I guess it's the best of the best, right? So unfortunately that word fits.
Okay. What's a daily habit that keeps you grounded as an owner?
Daily habit. Grounded. I mean, just we wake up at 4 a.m. every day and we go to the gym and coach. Like, so today we didn't, and my day feels totally off. We went to the baseball game last night, stayed up later than normal, slept in. I think it's just the daily habit of, hey, we got to show up for our members. I got to go in, and then when I get there, I look around the room and see, who was in last night and didn't put their weights away. Like, it's just a daily habit. Like, this is our life. Like, this is how we operate every single day. So my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. I let the dogs out. We're out the door by 4:40. We're in the gym at 5 a.m. working, trying to have some energy at 5 a.m. for people because they require that, talking to the people on the bodybuilding side, talking to the other side, like answering emails, doing programming, paying bills, doing all that stuff. So yeah, I think just daily habits, like rituals, is kind of what.
So the structure and discipline is what's helped you. Okay. What's the hardest lesson that being a business owner has taught you so far?
Not taking things personally. I take everything personally. Like someone quitting, somebody saying, hey, we need one of these machines. And right away, I'm like, oh, this person's probably going to quit because we don't have this machine and I got to figure out a way to do it. Or I take everything personally. So I got to figure out how to not do it as much. Yeah. But also it pushes me to, and Sherry's the same way, it pushes us both to be better.
Yeah. So
it's good and bad.
Okay. If you could train with any athlete that are alive, who would it be and why?
That would be a lot different a long time ago. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think anybody, because if you've ever met somebody that you look up to, they almost always disappoint you.
Yeah.
So in the CrossFit world, I was associated with a lot of CrossFit Games athletes. I was associated with a lot of Olympic level weightlifters that went to the Olympics and did things. And they're just regular people. And a lot of regular people are kind of assholes.
Yeah.
And people that are at a very, very high level are very into themselves for the most part. It's not everybody. But when you meet these people that are super high achievers, like a movie star or a rock star or a professional athlete, in order for them to get to that level, they kind of have to only care about themselves.
Right.
And so probably not the answer you want to hear, but I don't think I would want to train with anybody.
Okay.
How about Sherry? She's my training partner.
I love it. And then what's the legacy that you guys are wanting to leave behind?
Well, I don't have kids, so I don't really care about legacy.
You got 2 dogs.
Yeah, but they'll be gone. They don't live forever. Legacy, really what I care about is I want people to associate that with greatness, right? Like, man, have you seen this gym? Have you, whenever you talk about Las Vegas, we go there a lot. People, have you been to Dragon's Lair? And they have this aura about them, this place is great. You got to check this place out. That's the thing that I want to be. I want to be that for, outside of the perimeter in Atlanta, like North Atlanta, like, hey, if you live out there and you care about these types of training modalities, like you got to check this place out. Like they have everything you want there. Yeah. I mean, that's really the legacy I want. Cause I don't have a reason to save a bunch of money or, build a big house or do all these things. Like I want our day-to-day to be great. And I want people, when they associate what we built, I want them to associate it with something really, really great and something special.
Yeah. I love that. Well, that's good stuff. Well, is there anything else that you would love to share?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. Well,
join our gym. It's the best.
You can't get in.
Well, you can't. You just gotta be the right type of person.
Right. No, and I think it's super important that before we transition out of this, I think it's really important because most business owners, especially early on, are looking for anybody and everybody because they're chasing revenue as the goalpost. But what it ends up doing, it creates so much toxicity in an environment.
CrossFit destroyed that. So we used to get people, it was super common. Hey, I'm traveling. Can I buy a t-shirt and train in your gym? That was it. You didn't pay anything else. I'm like, no, like, first of all, that t-shirt cost me $15.
Yeah.
So you're paying $20, which isn't even, we're not making any money in these shirts.
Right.
You're taking up a space and usually you're annoying. Almost always these drop-ins are like super high maintenance because it's the way it works. Or, oh, you're a teacher, like, I will give you 20% off. Please come. Oh, you're a garbage man. Please. We took away all those discounts. Everybody's the same. Like the service that we provide it has value, and you either value that or not. It's the same thing in the gym that we're doing now. Like we're not cheap. We're not inexpensive. And so you have to value what we're offering, which is, less people in the gym, less, people like you that are like-minded, that are serious about training. That's important. And if you understand the value of that, then you're our person. Yeah. It's not, oh, can I do a free week pass? No.
Yeah.
If you want to try us out, we may let you come and try us out, but it's going to cost this amount of money. And then if we feel like you're a fit and you feel like you're a fit, then we'll give you that money towards your first week, but nothing's free. Yeah. I mean, the gym industry they've done such a bad job of trying to make everything free just to attract people. There should be a barrier. Like, let's make people want it. It's not Planet Fitness where give me your $10 and I'll never see you again. We're the complete opposite business model.
Yeah.
And so I think people are too used to like, well, Jim, you should give me something to come to your gym. I'm giving you a great place to train.
Right.
And you're giving me money so I can keep this place open.
Yeah, no. From my perspective, though, I mean, being on the receiving end of it, I've loved it.
Good.
The quality of the equipment obviously is top notch. Me being that pain in the ass member that's like, hey, you should have one of these, and you're like, no, try that.
Yeah.
It's really good. But you guys have been spot on every time.
But I've not stopped thinking about that. We need a hack squat ever since.
No, but I love the linear
because we need one. We do.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the goal, is to have a space where we can have those things when somebody says, and getting enough revenue in the door where we can afford when we do want or needs or see something cool that just came out.
Yeah.
We can just go get it versus having to be like, oh, should I not take a paycheck this month so I can get another piece of, because that's really what it comes. I don't think people understand that. Like, we're not made of money.
Yeah.
And if I make a decision to upgrade something, sometimes that comes at the expense of us getting paid that month.
Yeah.
So, I want to get to the point where that's not the case. Like, we can run the business and have a healthy, bank account as well.
No, I think that's one thing that's a huge misconception of business ownership just in general is, and I've seen studies that Chase put out like a year ago, that most businesses are 2 weeks away from going under.
Easily.
If credit card processing goes down for a couple of weeks, like, they're fucked.
That's why when COVID happened, man, like, we lost more than half of our members.
Yeah.
It was like, what are we going to do? You don't have that money just sitting there. And that's why tons of gyms closed in that time, because, people are like, well, I'm not using you. Or we're like, one of the most annoying things to me is when people want to go on hold for a week. It's like, do you put your car payment on? You're not using your car when you're on vacation, right? You're not using your apartment when you're on vacation. Like, do you want us to be here?
Yeah.
But you need to support us as a business, as something that is just a reoccurring cost. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's different if you're going away for a month or 2 months. Like, I understand that. But when it's 4 or 5 days and you email me after you get back and it's like, hey, I didn't come in. Can you? So those kind of people are out. Like, don't ask me.
Yeah.
But I'm also understanding, like, if you're going to go away to India for 2 months, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not going to make you pay for 2 months if you're not going to be here. But if you want to pay for 2 months, you can.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited for you guys. Yeah. One, personally for me, because I got to find the place as well.
Good.
Obviously based off of Nick and that connection. But I think if anything, it's really bigger than that for people that are really looking for not necessarily a sense of belonging, but a place that has a high standard that a lot of us hold for ourselves. I've went to some very high-end or expensive gyms, and it's annoying as shit when you're trying to go find, a certain subset of dumbbells, and they're in the wrong spot, and they're mixed up, they're all over the place. Somebody's got 4 sets of them over here, they're on their phone, and at least in the month or so that I've been there, like, I've seen none of that.
Yeah.
Everyone puts their shit back, they wipe their stuff down. Well, most people, I did almost get onto somebody my second time there.
Good. You should. Dude, I'll tell you, I tell people a story all the time. When I first started lifting, I was probably 19 years old. This big guy, his name's Brian. He still trains at that gym. He's a trainer. He was huge, especially when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't put, he said, rack him or smack him, bro. And I go, what does that mean? He goes, if you don't put your weights away, I'm going to fucking smack you. And I go, oh. And ever since then, it's been really important. So sometimes those people need to just, I don't think people do it because they're lazy or on purpose. I think they're just thinking of something else. Like, what's the next movement? What's the next set?
I equate it to the folks that don't put their shopping cart away at the grocery store.
We need a card narc.
Yeah, it's the same thing to me. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And even if in a lot of commercial gyms, you see other people not doing it, you shouldn't err on the side of let's just do what everybody else does. Just do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much more convenient for everybody.
It's how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right.
So, and hopefully those are the kind of people we find as well that feel similarly, like whether it's respecting the equipment, putting, plates away, putting dumbbells back. Like, if you can get it where you found it, it should go back where you found it. Not everybody grew up that way.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to kind of train people a little bit.
Right. Well, but I think with the right members, especially when they walk in, when they know they can't just come in the doors, they set up, the tour or whatnot with you guys. I would, and I've not been on obviously the side that you guys are on, but I would beg to say or bet to say that most people that understand what they've walked into and what they see, they don't bitch about price. They don't complain about any of that. It's just, I want to be a part of this.
Correct. And that's like, in the ads that we're about to do, all the things, when I do a consultation, someone who walks through the gym with us, you can tell right away if they're fit. They either walk in and go, wow, I love this. I haven't seen one of these. Oh, you got a Prime machine? Oh, that's cool. This is great. Man, all your dumbbells go up to 150. Everyone else goes up to 100 or 120. Nobody uses the 150s. One guy. But they're there, right? When you see that, you can tell like it's a hell yes. Yeah. That's what Sherry and I talk about all the time. It's a hell yes or it's a no. If you're on the fence, like, oh, I don't know. Like, I think I want to do some yoga and stuff too. It's like, okay, well, that's not what we do here. And it's not a bad thing that that's what you want, that you're either in or you're not. Yeah. So, you got to decide.
No, I'm excited for what end of 2025 and 2026 brings for you guys. And I really think it's really cool though, when you're somebody who can take the passion that you both have and then layer that into business, and then do it together. Yeah. I think it's such a magical thing, but 1858 might look like a gym if you can find it. Yeah. But it really just comes down to it's a culture and it's a philosophy that you two have put together, and it's been built, obviously inside of brick and steel, but a lot of compassion and sweat, and probably some tears that we didn't talk about.
A lot. And sleepless nights. I mean, owning a business isn't easy. No. Owning a gym is really not easy. Yeah. Right? Like it seems like it's a party. It's not.
So if anyone could see the anti-Instagram reel, then maybe they would understand all the stuff behind the scenes. Yeah, but absolutely. And I think it's cool though that you guys aren't building something for everyone. You're just building it for those who belong. And I think people really get that. But this is just one part of the story. So as we connect next time, we're going to go through part 2 with Sherry as it's her turn.
She's off to the side.
Right. But how fitness has been such a big part of her life, how it's helped her through massive transformation, getting out of an abusive relationship, and all that. So for that,
confidence is a big thing. I mean, we're not just a place for people to come exercise. Like people, if you use it correctly, it can literally change a lot of aspects of your life. I mean, you don't realize how your confidence changes when you walk in a room and people see you physically, like, oh wow, that person's in shape. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, Justin, thanks so much for stopping.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And then in part 2, we'll get Sherry on here. Guys, thanks so much for listening to another episode of Life by the Horns. We'll see you guys next time.